So I click go live, and then it has me go live, and then it says oops, reconnecting, and now it says live. So I think I'm live, but let's take a look. Hello everyone, welcome to a Galentine's edition of Cooking Airs in the Kitchen with Cam. I am your host, Cam. Surprise! Who would have guessed? Tonight we're going to be doing top sirloin filet. It's funny because if you look at how it's spelled, I think they made an error in that spelling. I don't know if you can see it from there. We're going to be doing cauliflower because I enjoy cauliflower. And we're going to be doing a bulk russet potato. I don't know if we're going to be doing like slices or how we're going to do it, but a bulk russet potato. Gatorade as always is here. Let me take it now so we can, have a good start to the entire show. A friendly reminder, nothing in this show is sponsored. Before we begin, as always, shout-outs. Shout out to the boss for this one. So, apparently she was freaking out that I was going to, catch something on fire or burn, or this towel was like giving her nightmares. So, she got me Lodge cast iron fabric handle holders. My favorite part of this entire thing is it says, we're cute and functional. And if you know two words that describe me, they are both cute and functional. So, we're going to use these tonight, or I'm going to try to figure out how to use these tonight. And thank you, boss, very much, as always. Let's see. Fits Lodge traditional style handles for a secure hold. Protects hands for heat up to 350. So I have to keep it at like 349.9 and I'll be safe. It comes in a set of two. And, yeah. And then as always, we're going to use the cast iron skillet. I did get seasoning today. Because I was shopping and I'm like, you know what? I need to step up my game for a second. So I got Watson's Organic Grilling Salt-Free Steak Seasoning. And it's ironic because I have the salt right here. I was walking down Meijer's aisles today and I'm like, I need to get everything and then I need to try something new. So there's two steaks in here tonight. I might use both of them, I might not. We'll figure it out. But, yeah, that's what we're looking at today. So let's officially take this out of the package. If the package will open. And watch the both just like fall on the floor or something. But no! Travesty! I see an angry text later from the boss being like, why? I don't know. Gravity. So, let us... Okay, so it's going to be... Oh, do I just slip these over? Oh, these are actually... Yeah. This is, in fact, cute and functional. Yes, boss. Yes. Okay. This towel shall now be moved over here. We're going to keep this one over here for the moment. Oh, I'm not throwing this away. That's fantastic. So, we're going to... Oh, look, ready? Boss, if you're watching, look, it's cute and functional, and I can do things with it. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, I don't think she's ever going to let me hear the end of that one, and that's perfectly fine. Thanks, boss. Alright, so let's get started with some fun stuff. Let's spray the pan. Now, I need to get this... I need someone to fact-check this for me, but... I'm just going to probably continue to chuckle, chortle, and everything else during the entire show because of that. I need someone to fact-check me on this because, as a history major, I try to know what I'm talking about, but sometimes I don't always. I was told, so obviously today is Valentine's Day, the day before Valentine's Day. Thanksgiving is on the other side of the calendar almost. But I was told that it was, I've been told it was started because of Parks and Rec. Can someone, let's turn the fan on, can someone, yes or no that for me so I can, actually know for sure. I was watching the Kylie Kelsey Not Gonna Lie podcast last night with her college roommates, and they were talking about Valentine's Day and that it was created because of Leslie Knope in Parks and Rec, or excuse me, is that just how it became famous. So if someone could fact check me with that, that would be fantastic. Now, ready? When I open this up, I don't have a giant, I don't have a giant towel right here. So, yeah, it's cute and functional. Thanks, boss. We're gonna do, let's do the potato first. We're gonna chop that up, and then we're still gonna wait for this to do their thing. I did not let this sit out as much as I wanted to today, and that's okay. I also should buy a peeler. I'm just gonna start like continuously adding more things I need as a chef, which makes sense. But like one of them going to be like a potato peeler because I don't own a potato peeler. One's going to be a timer because again I'm using my phone to record this. What was the other one I had? I can't remember. Anyways. Alright, so potato. You can boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Which, by the way, still the greatest trilogy of movies in history of cinema, as far as I'm concerned, and you will never convince me otherwise. I did watch the extended editions earlier this year in theaters, and let me tell you, that was an experience, and I loved every second of it. And I will not go into the lore because we got other things to talk about tonight. One of the things we gotta talk about tonight is I have to officially give my, like I promised I would, give my final verdict on Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Spoiler alert ahead for this entire episode because of that video game, so if you have not played Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, please be aware that it's going to be spoiled tonight. And, there's like two other things we probably... Oh, yeah, I also got new blinds today. So that's super fun. But let us cut this potato up. And, yeah, I had still had new spatula also. I forget things sometimes, that's okay. So let's do this as... Let's try... I do want to try slices today, so let's cut in half. You're going to go over there. You're actually going to... Let's see which one. I'm gonna use this one tonight. I'm gonna use a smaller one tonight because that way if I do leftovers I can use the larger one, and leftovers generally are less overall, so I'll have more potato. So that'll work right there. Tie that tight. And then let's try this without using like a cut glove because I can be smart, right? I'm making potato chips. So it would really suck if I'm cutting this and all of a sudden, like, my hand just goes, nope, that's not good. It is technically not drumline season at the moment, so I can get a little bit, it's not bad for slicing, right, without a cut glove. I think that's pretty good. I'm not doing, obviously, like, skinny potato chips, but let's try this style off tonight. Cool. I am not eating the butt end of this for the... I'm just not. Let's put this over here in the trash. Okay, so we're gonna do 5 minutes at 350. Why not? Let's do 3. Those were pretty thin. Excuse me. Let's try something, okay? Let's work with me on this. Let's try something. I'm gonna go a little bit off the rails tonight, I guess you could say. This is probably not going to work the way I want it to work, but again, that's what this is for. Is this a shaker? It does have a thingy-majiggy in it. Cool. Oh, that makes life so much more fun. Okay, so taking. Oh, you had to fall off on the counter, didn't you? That's okay. That's okay. I forgive you. That's where I was. Okay, so we're gonna keep in mind. Okay, now everyone sit down for a second. So when I tell this story to everyone, they don't freak out. We all know I'm not a condiments guy. I'm not a flavor guy. So I don't really know how to do this. I think I'm supposed to like marinate this. Ooh, that's strong and a different smell that I haven't smelled before. But like I said, I want to try something different. So tonight we're going to do cauliflower. I'm going to cut this up and then I'm going to put steaks in there. But I want to see if this will work. I'm not going to mix it with the salt and pepper, obviously, until I put it on the steak. But yeah, this way I can like mix it together because this looks a little half mixed and I need more room for it to be fully mixed. So let's take this out of here. And I hope everyone's having a great day today. It's moderately warm, or was moderately warm. And yeah, like I said, I got new blinds installed today, which I have been wanting to do for a couple months, but I had to wait for several things to happen because of scheduling issues. But I now have blinds, so that's a plus. Because the old ones were, if you know those like super cheap ones where they're flimsy, if you look at them wrong, they're so flimsy they just fall off. I had those, so in a torrent of annoyance, I just ripped them off one day, and I had to have blinds on my back doors for a while, which again is not the biggest deal in the world because it's not immediate access that way. So it's not like someone could like be watching me. That, I mean, it could if you wanted to, but there's a fence that's like 10 feet away, so it wasn't like open to the street, which is nice. But I finally got blinds put on, and in a moment, I hear you, and you're done. Oop, okay. So let's wash this off, then let's start cutting this up, and then we will put these steaks in. I think I may have timed this up incorrectly, and that is okay. I'm going to have to get a bag for the cauliflower in just a moment. But again, that's okay. Hooah! Okay, so there was one incision. We'll go here with the other incision. Oh, I was hoping to get a little bit different, but whatever. Alright, so I got to get a bag for that, so I will be right back, but we're going to turn that down a little bit. And let me get a bag on this side of things. And also, I hope my battery stays on long enough because I clicked record when my battery is at 29%, and I know videos tend to make it, tend to cut it, like, tend to drain the battery really fast. It was right after COVID where I was videotaping something and it cut out literally 5 minutes in, and it was, I think it was my last phone or something, but it just did not want to stay alive for anything. That was not a fun time at all. I had one phone that gave out, I was driving someplace and GPS gave out halfway to the destination, which was not fun. Because we all know how much I love and invest in technology. I don't. So this is going to go in, let's put this in for like 3 more minutes. Nope, that's not what I want. Yeah, okay, cool. Work. Alright, so let us drop this sirloin, not sirloin, because there is, if you can see it, an eye missing. It's sirloin steak, which I find humorous. Let's see, how do we want to do this? Obviously we're going to cut this open. Now that I'm getting into a bag for this, we're going to go with the, I'll figure something out. I always do. We're going to go with the bigger one tonight, why not? And that's going to be fine. And fantastic, and a good time. Work. Yeah, let's do it. Heck yeah. Now the other funny thing, wouldn't it be funny actually if while I'm doing this, like, I put the new handle on, again, thanks boss, I put the new handle on, wouldn't it be funny something else just absolutely goes wrong tonight? I've had that happen before multiple times, not with this, but like in life where like you prepare everything for one situation and then another situation comes out of nowhere and just you go, wait, what? I should have used butter maybe on this, but whatever. So we're going to do our salt and pepper thing like usual because, you know, salt and pepper is the main thing I use to cook. And then we will add a little bit of, I think this is the exact, did I get the exact same, oh my gosh. Did I actually? Kids, this is why you got to write things down. I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed with myself. I bought the exact same type of sea salt grinder, and I don't like that one, so that's not good. I think, by the way, this is episode 14 of the show, and if you've been around for 14 episodes, thank you very much. If you've not, then welcome. Pleasure to have you. Look, I can grab it. Okay, that's kind of hot. But it's not burning. Oh, that is fun. So thank you if you've been around for one or been around for all 14. Thank you regardless. Your support means the world to me. But as always, please forget to like and subscribe because I am not doing this for the highlights or for the money. I'm doing this to remind everyone it is okay not to be perfect. It is okay not to be perfect. It is okay to make mistakes. Mistakes happen all the time. And we move on. Work. Okay, we're going to put cauliflower in here now. I think this will kind of work, actually. I might want to chop that up a little more, but whatever. Ugh. So let's talk about Metroid Prime 4, Beyond. I've told you the story about me being a Metroid fan like several times. At this point, we're going to add a little bit of seasoning. And we'll do it around there as well. I finally finished playing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, so I can give my opinion on this. This is going to smell, and that's okay. Not in a bad way, but it's just going to be a new scent, a new aroma, a new odor, as they say. I have played all the Metroid Prime games, and in some cases more than once, in some cases more than like 24 times, because Metroid Prime is one of my favorite games of all time ever made. I know Metroid Prime 2 Echoes tends to be the more popular one, but Metroid Prime is, for all instances, like one of my favorite games ever. So Prime 4 Beyond, I was very disappointed with it. It felt like it could have been more. It felt rushed. The music, which is the thing I judge a game on heavily, felt forced. It felt like it was trying to be like, hey, remember me? Remember how awesome I was? Yeah, now it's even like this. And it just, excuse me, it did not feel Metroid Prime. A thing about Metroid is, and we all know I'm a massive introvert, Metroid is made for introverts. It's made when, like, you are alone on a planet, everything is trying to forever nap you, or put you to bed forever. There are no friends, there are no allies, it's you versus the world. Maybe your ship's an ally so you can save the ship. But the problem is, like, that's always been Metroid in general. It's always been, you are alone, you have no directions, survive. Like, you've never played the original Metroid. It literally does the dun 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 wow wow. You're in the game, and there's no explanation. Whereas Zelda/Link, you get explanation, you get orientation, you get the tutorial, you get everything. Metroid Prime 4. So let me back it up too. When Metroid Prime came out, It was smart with how it did some of its things. We're gonna cook this for 2 minutes. Like, it's an open world. So it gave you like hint systems, but it never bothered you with the hint systems, and it was never voice acted. There are 2 lines of voice in Metroid Prime. One is when Samus runs out of energy tanks, and in the very beginning when it says, oh, that's okay. Not burn my hand, that's plus. In the very beginning it says, evacuate immediately. Those are the only 2 voices for the entire thing. Everything's told through texts and through scanning and through text and scanning, and I don't use any. There is no story told through pre-rendered cutscenes, I think. Anyways, so it's very much you are alone, you are isolated, survive. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is not that. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is almost the opposite of that. And I understand why they're doing that, because, again, they're trying to reintroduce the series to a new audience that are quote-unquote casuals. Who, you know, as a casual myself, plays the game once every so often. You've got a real life. You've got 15 things going on in your life. You don't have time to worry about this. But it's just the way you do it. It's like, it's your tone and saying, when you say certain words, and I know there's a lot, and I will admit this myself, Miles McKenzie, one of the characters that got so much backlash and hatred, I can press play on that. He's kind of the comic relief, and he always has to have a funny word in, and I sympathize with him because I've been that before. But it's more of just the fact of what, and there are characters in it where it's decent, good, and helpful, but there's a lot of moments where it's like, let me do this so I can show you that I can do this, so you know that I can do this, so that I can do this. And it's almost like people who be like, let me run a marathon, not so I know that I can do it, but so I can show you what to do. And I was not thrilled with that part. And then the other thing, the thing that annoys me from other people's perspective is you have to gather these energy crystals by running into them with the motorcycle. And they kind of tell you at the beginning, like, hey, you need to collect these to save this species that's extinct, basically. And people were complaining about the fact that they never tell you that. But in reality, it's kind of like, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So they never, and people got mad because they're like, I don't want to have to do this as a side quest. Well, if you paid attention, you would from the very beginning be playing this side quest of gathering these crystals. I'm happy that they introduced the crystals at the very beginning, because in Prime 1 and Prime 2, and Prime 3 got better at this one, but in Prime 1 and Prime 2, unless you knew exactly what to do, you were hunting, you literally came to like the final area, or the second to last, the penultimate area, and then you would be given a MacGuffin fetch quest. And that would add on hours to the gameplay. Whereas here, you're given, from the very beginning, you are given that fetch quest MacGuffin from the very beginning, and if you decide not to spend the time doing it after you've been told you have to do it, that's kind of on you. So I spent time gathering crystals as I went, and it gave you cool upgrades, for the most part. There are some where they're just like, I don't think that's how that works. But it gave you decently good upgrades. Time to flip. So it wasn't a total loss, I think people were looking, I truly think people were looking for a reason to get mad at this, and there were plenty of reasons to get mad at this. For the MacGuffin side quest green crystals, if I didn't have to collect those, so my game took about 20 hours. If I didn't have to do the crystal desert things, and admittedly it was, as someone who is both, and who is ADHD, obsessive compulsive, on the spectrum, and some other fun things. I love the collecting part for the most part, but then there are some parts where they didn't tell you how to collect certain upgrades or certain crystals, so they would give you, like, there's a part where you would get the location of all hidden items, but they wouldn't say, hey, to get this hidden item, you have to do X, Y, and Z. They would just say, there's supposed to be an item here. Figure out what. So I had to Google I think I had to Google 5 things, which was not bad, because everything else was extremely straightforward for a new audience, which, again, I understand. But it's just... And again, this game has been in development since... It was announced 8 years ago, I think it was. And then they had to announce on a live stream that they were firing the company they were working with, bringing back Retro Studios, which was the original company, and starting over from scratch. So this game has been in literal development purgatory for 8 years. And I think part of the problem is you are never going to have... Excuse me. If you have to wait that long, your audience, no matter how loyal they are, is never going to want to... It's never going to live up to the hype for the audience. The fan service will never be good enough. The Endgame, Avengers Endgame took from what? I forget when the first one came. Whenever Iron Man 1 came out to Endgame, that was a long time, but you also had a slow build. Part of the problem with this is that you had literally 8 years of, hey, it's coming, hey, it's not coming, hey, it's coming, hey, man, we don't know. And then yes, it's warm, but it's doing its job. Thanks, boss. You had, like, the build-up to it, and then people had to sign NDAs in order to try it at whatever Comic-Con it was at. And when you had these people try it, they released footage of the game. Like, they had a bunch of different release trailers, and the one right before its release in December was all the characters were added in, or some of the characters were added in. And that's when people lost their minds, was it's not Metroid at its core. It is, you are alone, you have no idea what to do, survive. This is, hey, I see you're alone. Should I accompany you on your quest so I can help you around and along and help you with everything? Wouldn't that be awesome? Let's do that together. And, like, every time she enters a room, Samus enters a room, like the main camp, there would be a, hey, welcome back, stranger. And every time she left, there would be a happy hunting or something like that, and that's not what Metroid is. So people were looking for ways to get mad, and they very happily exploited the NPCs. Also, Silex was not a good villain. It was, I don't think the villain arc was drawn out very well. There was not enough backstory given, and, like, the very last fight, against spoilers, I think Silex is a he, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so, because the backstory is Federation Trooper Commander, but the Federation is male and female, so I don't know. There's a part where Silex starts screaming at Samus, and, like, it's not villainous, it's more of, like, maniacal, like, almost Joker-esque screams. And it's like, dude, you're not doing yourself any favor with your character right now. Chill for, like, 30 seconds, please, I'm begging you. So, I have a conspiracy about this. So, the rumor is that they are launching Metroid Prime 5 to create a new, Metroid Prime trilogy, and there's excuse me, there's thought that they put the Metroid Prime logo on it so that it would sell units, but it wasn't going to be Metroid Prime, and it's not really Metroid Prime. Yeah. But they put the name on there so it would sell units. Apparently it didn't sell a ton of units, even though they split it between 2 systems. The problem is that in order to get the Switch 2 edition, you have to buy the Switch 2. You then have to pay $79 instead of... No, I think it's $69 and then $59 for the one I bought. And then in order to get the full experience, you have to buy an amiibo. You have to buy 3 amiibo figures to get the full experience, including music. Which, for those of you who saw the post I put up about Kashmir in the desert, yes, I did that because if you know the backstory for the song Kashmir, that works perfectly. I gotta wrap this up because I'm almost done here. The problem is that the theme for the desert, so Retro Studios is the company that has released all Metroid Primes. The theme for the desert, and someone found this out, is the literal theme with like a little bit of changes to Halo. And the Halo team literally came over from, I forget if it's 343 or Bungie or whatever the company's called, came over to Retro to make this game. So it's literally Bungie became Retro Studios, and then boom. And you can literally see, like, it's almost as close as Under Pressure to Ice Ice Baby. Like, that's how close some of the music is to the Halo music. And when I heard that, I literally was like, I'm done. I don't care. I did complete the game. I completed 100% items and 89% scans because I obviously missed a few scans, but I'm a completionist when it comes to items. So, yeah. I gave it a 2 to 2.5 out of 5 just because it's like, it just felt, I'm waiting for a DLC. Like, it felt like it's putting too much story into, if there's an episode 5, but episode 4 just isn't good enough. So, on to happier things. Thank you for listening to my rant. On to happier things. I think I'm just about done with the steak. I wanted to get a little bit, I need to stop trying to overcook everything. We're gonna put another couple minutes here. I want to stop overcooking everything so much, but it's a habit I have because I like to overdo things. So let's get this out. Let's get the silverware out. It's time for the plating. Not bad overall so far. I may or may not be doing a live leftovers episode this week. We will see what the week pertains to, but if nothing else, I can always push everything back to next week because I did 1 episode last week and 1 episode this week, so we're good. And I think we're good here. Let me put this in here one more time. I hope everyone is having a great day. I might need to use a fork. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to open this like I normally just to make sure, but I feel confident with this that it's going to be good in the middle. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's get a new fork. I didn't like how that fork felt. And, maybe this is a picture mark. Yeah, good. So as always, there's nothing dirty about this fork, just the way I took it out, I did not feel good about it. As always, thank you for joining me for dinner. Let us see how we're doing here. I may have burned that a little bit, that's okay. I'm going to take this off of here. Let's turn this off. Let us move this steak. I gotta wash the handle now. That's not the worst thing I've ever cooked. They both look about even. Let's put on this side. Let's take this out of here at this point. Work. I have to get a spatula just so I can, use 2 and then have a way to take these out easier. Okay. Hey, look. Alright. So, Not the biggest meal I've ever made, and that's okay. Thanks for having dinner with me, and I'll see you on the next time.